stay with you. I did a gig, and this is something I've learned, right? I did a gig a few months ago in Hereford, and it was a place called the Welsh Social Club, right? Because Hereford's just outside of Wales. And I went in there and I had my guard down because I thought I'm going to be dressed as Welsh Jesus. It's just outside Wales. The place is called the Welsh Social Club. I was going in not a bit cocky, but I was just thinking, oh, they're going to love it. Of course, they're going to love it. Welsh Jesus, the Welsh Social Club. And I went in, and I think I was I was closing the second half, and by then they were all pissed, and they just didn't get it. Like, do you know what I mean? And I think if I prepared myself more for like, oh, this might not go the way that I think it's going to go, then I could have dealt with it better. Do you know what I mean? But because I don't know, I got there, my guard was down, and I don't know, I'd had a run of a few good gigs. I assumed, well, the Welsh Social Club, they're gonna love this, but yeah, they were just looking at me like, what is he playing at? Do you know what I mean? So I sort of learned then, like, well, don't really take it for granted, just because it's called the Welsh Social Club and it's outside of Wales, you've still got to, you still got to have your guard up and just be prepared all the time, like, really.
Yeah. Comedy will humble you one way or another.
Yeah, yeah. It's and the thing is, the thing I like about comedy is it lets you know your place in regards to like sort of ego. I was actually speaking to Chris about this, and he was saying you could do a gig in front of like 150 people, and they'll all love you. And then your next gig, then perhaps if you're doing someone a favor or something like that, you could rock up and there's five people there. Do you know what I mean? So it always lets you know where you stand and not to get sort of too big-headed.
Yeah, 100%. It's ridiculous how it is. It's because I remember even Paul Chowdhury came to an open mic night a few years back.
Yeah,
And it's Paul Chowdhury, one of the biggest comics in the UK, and he's still coming to an unknown open mic to test
yeah.
his material out.
Well, most of the big comics do that, I think. Like most of the arena comics, they'll especially in America, they'll do all the comedy clubs first with like 2-3 hours of material, and then they whittle that down then to like an hour or an hour and 10 before they get to the big arenas or the stadiums, so I think that that has to be done. When I first started, I was in a final of a comedy competition, and I think there was something like 210 people. It was like my seventh or eighth gig. This was back in 2014, and I did all right. And I come off stage, and I was thinking, this is it now. This time next year, I'll be on live at the Apollo. It's gonna be amazing. They're gonna give me champagne. Awesome. And then my next gig after that one was in a pub in Bridgend in front of seven people. It really sort of lets you know, like, not to lets you know your place.
Hmm. Yeah.